Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Rich Harshaw, level 10 contractor here as usual, but not as usual. I have special guests with me. This is Chris Diroll. He is the director of ideas. I want to know a little bit more about that, but he's the director of ideas at a company called SMA Support Services. And look, if your first initial reaction is SMA Support Services, what the heck is that? Well, we're going to cover that, but I want you to know this is not a tool. This is not a tech stack thing. This is one of these things that is going to really make a massive difference in your company because here's what it's going to do. This is a company that is going to help you wring every drop of water out of the stuff that you're already paying for, the stuff that you're already doing, the processes that you already have. This is an efficiency play that is going to make you better at what you're already doing. Chris, welcome to the podcast.
What's up, Rich? Thank you for having me, and I appreciate Mary Beth meeting her at a conference where we connected and kind of got some discussion started. So yeah, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So is that a good intro, you think, wringing every drop of efficiency out of the stuff that you already have?
100%. And I think I look at it like if contractors treated every aspect of their business the way they treat materials on a job site, like guys are going to take back, I got a bundle of cap left over. I'm going to return that. And it's like, okay, are you taking that same level of approach to other things in your business? And so, like, whether your leads coming in, things of that nature, are you as efficient in preventing loss from happening in those areas? And oftentimes you're not because you run out of time in the day to do those things. So,
All right. So look, I'm a straight shooter. This all sounds very boring. Okay. This sounds like almost the most boring thing I could possibly put on a podcast. However, dear listener,
yep.
please, please, please hang on. Hear what this man has to say for the next 3 minutes, then decide because I think you're going to want to stick around because I don't know how to say it other than this is going to make you far more efficient than you are, and the ROI on engaging these folks is going to be stupid. So let's go through this. I want you to share your screen, and I want you to just sort of walk us through how this works.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
then after you show us how it works in general, I want you to go through a bunch of different use cases because you've got a ton of use cases.
Yeah. Perfect. So, let me hit share. All right. You see the
All
anatomy
right.
of the SMA team?
Yes, we're good to go here.
Perfect. So, when most people are thinking about, I want somebody else on my team to help me accomplish tasks that I need done, and I'm looking at a remote team member where somebody doesn't need to be in person, you can go on Fiverr, you can go on Upwork, hire a virtual assistant yourself, but all of that effort to get that person integrated to your business is on your shoulders. What makes us different is we take a lot of that heavy lifting and the best practices that we know from a lot of the industry from a contracting standpoint and help you apply them to your business. And we do that with a team of people to work with you and a dedicated team member in your business that works for you every day of the week and only for you to take all the little things off of your plate that frankly are $20 an hour tasks that you're making $100,000, $200,000 a year. You shouldn't be spending your time doing, but they're critical to make your business move forward and do what's needed.
Yeah, and so go back. Let me just make sure people understand this. Where that says US team, that's not us team, that's US. So here's
Yes.
what they're doing. They've got a team of folks here in the United States, USA, that are going to manage a team of people who are in the Philippines. I think you said you've got what, about 300 people on staff in the Philippines?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Okay, so just to make sure that everybody's super, super clear on this. Hey, why don't you go hire a virtual assistant to help you be more efficient and get stuff done? It's going to be less expensive. It's going to, have all these advantages. Great. Okay, what if I get a virtual assistant and they're sick or they quit or something else? So what we're talking about here is a team of actual United States humans that deal with you directly on a consistent basis that are then managing this backend team, creating processes, making sure that the VAs understand the processes and are properly implementing and utilizing the processes so that you aren't the person managing the whole freaking thing and you didn't exchange one problem for a different problem.
Exactly. Yes,
All right,
that's
keep going.
so yeah, the US based team, so client success manager Paul, he's the guy where he's kind of the mini version of me of hey, here's a lot of marketing strategy ideas, things that I implemented in our roofing business, things that I've helped others implement. and look for those opportunities that the owners sometimes are not even considering. And so maybe it's from a, the common, how many times have you heard a contractor say like, oh, we need some more leads? And it's like, okay, well, what's our options there? You're a roofing business and you're using an instant roof quote tool, but are you really using it to its potential? Maybe we can show you a workbook of here's our kind of execution strategy for how we can go generate leads using this tool and outbound outreach. Have a team member call a realtor for you and introduce them to your roofing business and let them know that you solve a problem that they run into, which is needing a price on a roof quickly. And you're not the one calling them, it's your assistant. And we build this playbook of what would you like to happen on your perfect day? Let's have them go execute it for you.
And so to put a finer point on this, you guys specialize in remodeling. I know you do a lot of work with roofing, but also other
Yep.
exterior remodeling, interior remodeling, yes or no?
Yes, we do some interior remodeling too, but it's one where our business was really born in the roofing industry. So roofing, exterior trades, the interiors, there's so many similar process-based workflows. We do some stuff with some kitchen, bath, and cabinet remodeling people where at the end of the day, there's just sometimes on different businesses, they have more needs at different points in the process of where's their bottlenecks. Um, so yeah,
Yeah. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up, that you work in this industry, is because, and I think this is the most important thing. Okay. They know how to do the specific things that you guys listening to this need to know how to do. So, Chris was nice enough to send me kind of a cheat sheet on some of the things they do. And when I was looking at this, I was like, oh, this is hyper specific. So, specific tools like how to use CompanyCam properly. So you hear guys like me on Level 10 Contractor Daily Podcast saying things like, hey, you need to use CompanyCam. Okay, great. Then you go get CompanyCam and then you're only using it at like 5, 10, 20, 50% functionality. These guys understand how to use that specific tool. Also, Project Map It, also uh, Proline, also Roofle,
roofal. Yeah.
Roofle, also, just all these kinds of things that you specifically know how to optimize and maximize.
Yes. And this is where being in the specific to kind of the construction industry, I mean, a number of different CRMs, we support pretty much anyone that's out there that somebody has said, like, hey, they're at a trade show. Do you work with them? Have you used them? We've got a contractor that is using that tool, that technology. And so that's where a big benefit of this comes in is oftentimes maybe there is a tool that you're using, you're not using it to its full extent, like Company Cam Showcase. And I just had a conversation with a contractor this week where he told me, I said, hey, are we going to take this off your team's plate and start updating your Company Cam Showcase for you every day? Because I see you haven't updated it in 3 months. And he's like, well, my ops manager is supposed to do that. And I'm like, the same ops manager you're paying like 200 grand a year, like that ops manager, why is she spending her time doing this? Because A, she's not, but B, if she is spending her time doing it, is there nothing else she could be working on that's really bigger revenue driving time for her?
Right.
And so this is where it's like find those tools and how do we string these together? And so here's a free marketing tip for anybody out there. If you're using Roofle and you have the instant roof quote tool, please have your sales teams go out on Facebook, go out on Nextdoor, open accounts on that, and talk to customers there and talk to them and promote the fact that you've got a tool that allows customers to start that buying journey without somebody coming in their living room for 2 hours. And if you can have somebody where they put this tool out there and they fill out this Roofle tool, where SMA, where we often come in, is like having a very quick speed to lead so that if somebody fills out that form, once your sales guy posts it, they call as soon as that lead comes in, the team member's calling in less than 30 seconds. Our average speed to lead at the accounts we support is under 30 seconds. And that's super important where we talk about squeezing that, the drops out of that towel. If you're waiting until a day, an hour, whatever it is past that first minute, you're dropping your opportunity. And so,
Okay. So, what about your team members actually making those posts on those social medias and interacting with people on the social media? Because all of this sounds like this is why I'm so excited about what you're doing because the devil is always in the details. And the details is somebody has to actually freaking do stuff.
yep,
And at the end of the day, you look at your team right now. You've got 10 people on your team in total, or you've got 50 people on your team in total. Guess what? They're all of them are already 100% maxed out. There's nobody that's got an extra 5 hours a week to do anything. let alone post that thing on the social media or whatever the thing is. Optimize the way. What did you say with CompanyCam updating your what? What is it called?
Your company cam showcase.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, what is that? I know this is just like one little narrow niche thing that you do, but let's use it as an example.
Yeah. So the company cam showcase is a tool that I actually talked to them and they said it's like 90% of the contractors that have this tool. It's an ability to display your project images right on your website. 90% of them aren't using it. And all you have to do is take the photos that you took on the job, click add this to my showcase, and they automatically populate onto a widget on your website. I can pull up an example and show you of
Yeah,
it,
do
but
it.
typically what most people are going to do, let me pull up. So Paramount Roofing, another Detroit contractor, but like this is one where they're going in and once a week they make sure that they're updating the jobs that they just installed. So when
Okay.
homeowners are coming,
So go back one if you don't mind.
yeah,
So so we're looking on the screen now. If you're listening on audio, sorry, you're gonna have to check this out on video. So it says our latest projects on Paramount Roofing's page here. So this is the widget that CompanyCam makes available to draw these projects in, correct? So this is a
correct.
widgeted page.
Yep.
And then if you scroll just a tiny bit, okay, so we've got three jobs here. They're all clearly pictures of house, Certainteed, Landmark Pro, et cetera. Can those be renamed?
Yep. So this is where you can go in and kind of tag your products that you use. So like common question, why this tool makes an impact for you? How many times have you had a customer that you need to schedule a job, but they still haven't picked a color yet? If you had this where instead of having to drop off a shingle board, give them addresses, you say, hey, what are the three that my sales team told you might look good on your house? It's, espresso, it's driftwood and maxed F weathered wood. What you can do, what I love about the showcase is once it's enabled on your website, let's say you click a couple of these and you say, I want to filter just for those specific products. You can take the link and it'll pre-filter these to send to your homeowner and say, hey, I'm just going to show you these three types of shingles. You shoot them a text, they can look, they pick a color, you're moving on. Because all they wanted to see is let me see that shingle in the real light versus that little swatch from your brochure. And when they go to this, they're not only going to see the results of here's what the shingle looks like, they're going to have pictures of what happened on the job. So they can say, hey, here's what the underlayments look like. Here's what felt paper looks like. All of the things that your sales team hopefully explained to them during the sales call,
Right.
boom, giving them
But
proof of
more to the
trust.
point of our conversation right now, if you have all of this stuff, but you don't actually take the time to put it actively on the widget on your website, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's irrelevant. You're paying for a tool that you're not utilizing. And the reason you're not utilizing it is because Janine, who's supposed to be doing this, is busy and doesn't. Meanwhile, you've got a team of Manila-based virtual assistants who, what? How does this work? Like daily, just have a task sheet that this is one of the recurring tasks?
Exactly. So this is where we jump into like, where is that bottleneck in your business? Where's that low-hanging fruit that's going to drive high value? And then we put, here's your priorities when you come in every day. This is what you start with. It's like, first of all, you're always answering our phones, qualifying our customers, starting our lead intake process, booking them. But when the phone call's not ringing, then you jump in and for the first hour, I want you to do social media work, go check all the channels, respond to customers, comment, etc. Second hour, now I want you to go in and update our project map it from last week and pull our old jobs that didn't get input, put them in there, and then kind of chunk out those tasks of
Okay.
what can we do each day.
All right. So I think people have an idea of what this is and how it works. So let's just go through some FAQ. I'll ask the
Yeah.
questions, you give the answers. Okay, so that all sounds great, but I'll just do it. We've got people, we can do that ourselves.
Yes. Of course you can because they can do it, but are they doing it? And that's the question. Perfect jumping off point of, hey, we got people that can do it ourselves. Well, let's start with lead rehash. Are all your sales teams, are all the guys and girls on that team calling the old estimates from last year, from the year before, from 3 years ago? No, they're not. And so even though you might have people who can do it, we can do it on the best days, but on the days when fires pop up or dealing with other things, those things fall to the
Oh, you mean
wayside.
every day?
Yeah, 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 exactly. Any day as long as it ends in Y. So yeah.
Okay. So I so I'm gonna give two takeaways from what you just said. Number one is you can do it, but you're likely not to do it because of just time constraints and not putting effort and focus on it. But number two, I'm gonna guess is when you onboard a new client, I'm gonna guess that you're gonna go through a fixed list of things to inspect and bring to their attention. And I'm gonna guess that if there's 22 things, I just made up a number on that list that there's going to be probably half of those that your client, when you bring it up, goes, "Oh, yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, crap. We're not even, that's not even on our radar, but now that you mention it, we should be doing that." And the other half are going to be more like, "Yeah, we should be doing it, but we're not."
Yep. Yep. And that's oftentimes what happens is somebody will start wearing a hat and then they get another hat and then they get another hat. And now all of a sudden they've got 12 tasks that they're supposed to be doing, but you've also laid three different job roles on them. And so they're your production manager and marketing and admin and like
So
they, they
give
can't switch.
me give me the top three things off the top of your head. It's going to vary from company to company, obviously. The
First,
top three things that are not even on the radar of your new clients that you're onboarding, that when you bring it to their attention, they go, "Holy crap, I didn't even really thought about that, but now that you bring it up, we're totally failing there." What are they?
yep. So I think the first like indicator to look at is what's your speed to lead? If you don't measure it, you don't know it. And if you're guessing, it's probably higher than you think it is. And so making sure every lead that comes in is responded to quickly. And I think a lot of people don't understand that this is multi-platform, multi-channel. It's not just the leads that come into your website, Facebook message, comments on these pages. These matter of somebody seeing that you're responsive to them. And so
Okay,
looking at just leaks of where do we not catch a lead and respond to it as fast as possible. That's step one.
awesome. Speed to lead. What's next?
Second one is going to be accounts receivable. So there's people, especially in the more of like storm restoration markets, if they're doing that stuff, or just maybe some larger projects where if you have accounts receivable that is over 20 days, most of the problems we see that contractors face is not due to really any issue other than a lack of process of how you go about making sure you're getting that money and staying on top of the customer at the end of the job to get that money from them. And so coordinating the process to get paid, to follow up with homeowners that you sent the invoice to, but they still owe you 10 grand on the roof. Like, yeah, I'm going to get to that when I get back from the job site today. And then no, you don't. And then it's next week. And now you know you've got 300,000 bucks outstanding
Well,
that,
even Linda in accounting, look, let's face it, the accounting person is not always the most aggressive, motivated person. So they'll maybe send an email or a text message or leave a phone message or whatever. Hey, calling about that, that outstanding balance. And then they're going to look at that and go, "Oh, I just called them yesterday or 2 days ago. I'll call them. I'll put them to call next week if I don't hear from them." And
yep,
I think what you're saying is, screw that. I'm going to get Filipino accounts receivable mob to get that freaking money.
yeah. Well, dude, that's a perfect point. So we have a commercial, they're mostly commercial roofers, but they have a team of five that all they really handle is their accounting tasks. And basically, they have like a daily, weekly, monthly checklist of here's what we got to do. And it's like, hey, just go to work. And when we can build a process, our team is awesome at just let me go and execute it. And so it's like, how many times do you want me to call them in a day to remind them that they still owe us money? Not maybe I'll call them once or twice a week. And speaking to like reluctance for US based people to get on the phone and actually make phone calls, dude, it's hard. Like we see people that have US based call centers that are well oiled machines, but we have had some chances to go in and kind of support them. And what we've seen is it causes a lift of what the US based team is going to do because our team members on a poorly set up process, they can do 100 calls a day to rehash old leads, old estimates. When it's really well set up, we can do 150, 200. And it's like, I had an HVAC client of mine that said, I'm struggling to get my two CSRs to make a combined 50 calls for our maintenance contracts a week. And then in the first week, I said, okay, so how many customers you got? All right, we can do, yeah, we'll knock this out. In like the first 3 weeks, we did almost 1,400 phone calls to outbound prospecting for, it's been a couple years, just haven't checked in. Do you still need somebody to service the equipment on your building? And having a team member just go in and say, it's not a month long, 3 months, 4 months. It's like,
Okay.
we'll get this done quick.
So call reluctance does not exist with this team.
Nope. And this is where we
Okay.
screen and hire people that have had experience in a call center. And what we do is we train them for the roofing and contracting industry. So it's like we know they can be good on the phone. We screen them, have language comprehension evaluations, and make sure that they're going to represent you and your brand the way that we want, as well as also know those details about your brand.
Okay, so I want to get to the language part in a minute, but first let's finish this list. So speed to
Yeah.
lead, accounts receivable. What's the third thing that people maybe didn't even realize they need to up their game?
So I would say it's both like the estimate slash production, that transition area where there's often a lot of things that you're requiring your sales team to do to support going to give a client an estimate that is holding them back from getting to more leads in a day. So a good is like how many leads per day can your sales team run? If you're saying 2 to 3, we can probably get that process built better and take a lot of the admin work of supporting that sale off of the team's plate so they can just run more leads and have a better process for your clients as a result
Okay.
too.
So now I can have ostensibly fewer salespeople and or lean into my better salespeople, get
Yep.
make them work more efficiently.
Yeah, revenue per salesperson in every retail business for, whatever your trade like average ticket's going to be is a little different, but I mean, there's a world where your sales team that your best performer who's doing maybe 2 million bucks, he or she could be doing 4 million and just double the number of appointments they go out to. And if you think backwards of like, okay, not only am I going to need fewer salespeople, but my conversion of my front end marketing spend, if I'm giving it to my team members who perform at 25% or 30% versus I give it to the guy who's performing at 40 plus percent, I'm going to spend way less money
Yep.
to close business as a result.
Okay, so I made up a number a minute ago. I said there's 22 things during your onboarding that you're going to evaluate. How many is it actually?
So this is, I got to count here, but it's probably about 25. We kind of bucket it into four
Don't you love
buckets.
how good of a guess that was? That's a pretty good guess, Rich.
Yeah, you
So
glanced at
share
it the
your
same
screen and
way.
show us what the things are. Let's
Yes.
look at them. We don't need to go through them all in detail like we did these three, but let's at least
No.
give the audience a feel for what these things are.
So this is we bucket them into four categories where it's often like, hey, where's your fires? Where's your pain right now? Sales and marketing, production and operations, financial management, or insurance workflows or admin support. And so we kind of just go through, oftentimes it's like either pull up your CRM or just talk through your sales process of where you're hitting some issues or see some opportunities that you know that you need to focus on. And so it's like, again, starting with that, we handle that phone call, but then we can jump into everything else. A big thing that I find is we are good at supporting. You have a number of technology tools in your business that sometimes don't always talk together the right way and give you the information you really need. And so a great thing is like lead performance analysis or job costing. What are things we can do to report, put data together, compile information, and give it to you, the owner, so that Monday mornings you're making effective decisions going into your team meeting and we're measuring what you need measured that's not really easily done in your other tools. Let's customize a report for you and build that to help you have what you need available each week.
Okay. So, just for the sake of people who are listening on audio, I'm going to just read through a couple of these. I don't want to discuss them in detail, but I do want to give everybody an idea. So, under the sales and marketing bucket, we've got lead management, which has inbound calling, appointment setting, and lead nurturing, outbound calling, rehash, or lead. What is that? Lead what?
Uh, Lead
Lead
response.
response. Okay, great. Refund management. Then under marketing engagement, we've got lead performance analysis, social media, Facebook admin, customer satisfaction surveys, referral programs. And then below that, we've got something called takeoffs and estimates. Under the pre-production and operations, we've got a couple of categories. Pre-production being number one, takeoffs and measurements, insurance documentation, quote preparation, permit management, transitions. Like I know nothing about permit management. This is outside of the scope of what I normally do. I do know this though. That sounds like a pain in the butt. It sounds like the kind of thing that you've got to stay absolutely on top of, or else the jackass down at the city office is going to drag their heels, and you need somebody to just make sure that they're moving the ball down the field. Is that am I right there?
Yeah, and it's like I want to get a woohoo from anybody in the truck right now listening to this as they're driving to the city hall to deal with some permit crap. Like most of it's online these days, but there's still some municipalities that aren't, but a majority of them are. And it's literally filing paperwork. When this happens, then we submit this, this, and this, fill this out, and then we
This
need
just
somebody to
sounds
stay
like the
on.
kind of thing that I would love a bulldog to just take care of.
Yeah, nobody loves pulling permits. Like that's
It's
not a
it, It sounds like it sucks. Okay,
It does.
moving on to the second category. We're still under pre-production and operations. The second category there is operations, production scheduling, work orders, material and labor orders, job progress updates, signed document handling. Moving over to the third category, which is financial management. We've got two sectors here, accounts payable and then account receivable. I won't go through those line item by line item, just for sake of speed here. Just know that there's five or six elements there. And then the third one, excuse me, the fourth one is insurance and admin. I'm off the screen here if you could scoot over a little bit. Yeah, insurance and administration, and I'll leave those alone as well. Suffice it to say, it's like all of the areas of your business that matter. And I look at this as hiring a team to manage a team, hiring your team US based to manage a team of Filipino based folks who are going to I'm going to use that phrase again because I think it's apropos. Bulldogs to make sure crap gets done as soon as humanly possible, as effectively and efficiently and as yeah, effectively. I'll just use that word again, as possible. Fair enough?
Yeah, 100%. And like
Okay.
here's something pops up. Like I'm out of that roofing business that I was in. I started as a client of SMA and then, now moved into SMA, but I still get texts, voicemails, whatever from that business where they'll come in. I'm on a call with you and it's like, I just see a voicemail came in. I screenshot this. I text it over to their team. That's the SMA team members and say, here you go. And they just run with it. They know what to do. They call the person, they take care of it, they book it and they go. And this is where it's like, what are those things that stack up? Like, I know what it feels like sitting in that truck where you're like, dude, it's 6 o'clock and I still have 800 things on my to do list that I meant to do today that I didn't even get to, that you run out at the end of the day and you're just like feeling drained.
Yeah.
There's something
Yeah.
we can get off of that. Like,
Yeah, I'm going to share this story. I've shared it on the podcast before. So, if, dear listener, if you've heard this before, well, here it is again. Many of you have not. Uh, this is only peripherally related, but the big picture is very related. I remember having this conversation with my HVAC client, very large company, a couple hundred trucks and technicians, and the topic was customer reviews. And so we came up with this idea, which is, hey, what if the technician had a little card that was pre-printed that we handed the customer at the end that said, hey, could you fill out a review for us? And it would have instructions and it may be a QR code, whatever. It was like, hey, all we're asking the technician to do is hand the card. It's
yep.
self-explanatory. We don't need him to really say anything. We just need him to do this. And so I brought this to the attention of the owner who was in the marketing meeting, and he immediately says, absolutely not. We are not having our technicians do that. And I went, why not? It's easy. He goes, here's what you don't understand. We're already asking them to do 47 other things. This is number 48. I can't add a 48th thing. We've already scrutinized the 47 down from 71. And if I ask them to do one single solitary extra thing, their brain will explode and it's going to suck. There's no way we're doing that. And I think that story encapsulates why your company exists and what you're going to help people do. And I don't mean obviously specifically handing a card to somebody, but taking this overwhelm of detail that various team members have to deal with and saying, let us offload it to us. Let us have a team that is US based, that understands how to interact with these teams. And we've got processes and systems so that all of this stuff can actually be done without any risk of an individual person going down or being unavailable and having redundancies and so forth.
Yeah, and the redundancy thing is a good point that like if you go and hire a VA yourself and they are not there one day, or let's say you hire one that's working multiple contracts and they're working for somebody else that day, what's happening? So we have that accountability in place to make sure they're only working for you, but sometimes people need time off, sometimes people are sick. And this is where that team structure comes in. And so like our ideal contractors that we work with are usually around like 3.5 million bucks in revenue. And with a team of two people, we then have your backup person who's not one of your VAs, but they're a secondary backup. And we have your ops manager above them who's the other backup so that if something's out happens, they're out sick or they have scheduled vacation, they're hopping in, making sure your processes continue to run
But
while you're
even in
there.
the worst case scenario where both of the people that work on your account normally get hit by the proverbial bus, you've got a pool of other people that already understand the processes. Maybe not your specific account, but they've done rehash before. They've done AR follow-ups before. They've done whatever it is before. You've got the processes and the training and all of that built in.
Correct. And what I think this also speaks to, like when we look at what we can help for your business specifically, you're going to have different pain points and different needs and probably different skill sets for people based on those needs. Because whoever's going to be my intake phone person, happy, whatever sales marketing, probably a different skill set than your person who's really good at job costing, accounts payable, and receiving.
Yep.
And so this is where we're both going to look from like behavioral and what's the cycle, not the testing, but it's like the Myers-Briggs and those things where we're going to make sure we're putting them in a seat that aligns with what you need so that when we put somebody there, they're doing what you expect them to do. And we're looking for team members who are proactive versus reactive so that they're not just sitting and waiting for you to tell them something. They're going to bring things to you as well and say, hey, here's what else we should be, doing that I'm not already, and look for
Yeah,
those.
and I want the audience to that's listening to overlay what you just said just a second ago with trying to manage your own VA team. It's like, okay, even if they're good at what they do, even if you have some redundancies in place, are they proactively doing the next thing that they need to do, or are they waiting for you to tell them what to do? Like, I love it. So, the $1 million question, of course, how much does it cost? How do you charge people for this?
Yep. So we're a little more expensive than hiring a VA yourself, but the team structure of this for a team of two, you're going to have one, your first team member is the 20 an hour rate, and then the second team member is 17 an hour. So it's roughly for a 4 week standard month for two full-time 40-hour week people is about $6,000 total. We bill it bi-weekly, and the benefit to the organizations is that you're getting an employee of ours, but we're an expense versus those additional heads. If you hired them locally, you're gonna have a lot more labor burden on top
So
of that. So
what about your people, the US based people? Is that just built into the cost?
it's all
They're
built in.
free?
And so that's yeah, exactly. That's part of that hourly rate of not only is Paul the customer success manager, but like Miggs, one of our JOMs, and Mary, one of our senior ops managers, plus the quality control team that listens to phone calls and provides feedback. It's all encompassing of it. And so we have people that they'll talk to us. 3 months later, they call us back, say, yeah, I tried it myself. Okay, I'm just gonna let you guys manage it. I thought I could save the money. I ended up spending 3 times as much time trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing.
Okay. For anybody that's listening, I'm pissed just hearing you say that other people said that to you. Look, if you've ever done anything managing people in your life, and if you haven't, what are you freaking listening to this podcast for? Go figure out how to manage something. You know that you know that what this man is selling you right now is something that makes sense and that you need. And if you're going to go try to do this yourself, that's just stupid. I'm officially giving this the Rich Harshaw stamp. And here's what the stamp is. It's the you would be stupid to not do this stamp of approval.
Man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, because here's what's about to happen, just so everybody knows. We're about to end this podcast. Uh, we're going to give you a way to get a hold of Chris and his team. And then after we end the podcast, I'm going to tell Chris to hold on, and I'm going to beg him to do this service for my company, even though I'm not a contractor. So we'll get to that in just a minute, Chris. I want the audience to know that that's how serious I am about this. But before we do that, first of all, give us any kind of ways to get a hold of you, whether it be email or website or whatever, what the next steps are. And then the last thing I want you to do is just answer any questions that I didn't ask because maybe I'm
Yeah.
not that great of an interviewer.
So no, dude, this has been great, but I think I'll start with like who are the people who should reach out to me. And so I speak from like there's two camps of people I work with a lot. One of them is very much like me, where it's like I got two little kids. I have so much else outside of my life that is not work priority that I want to make a priority. And I need time in my schedule to spend more time there. Hey, that's a great camp to be in. Whether you're like, dude, I'm running out of time in the day, I'm working with my husband, I'm working with my wife. It'd be nice to be married again instead of being just coworkers. Like, reach out, let's talk. Even if we're not going to help you, I know there's some things I could probably steer you towards, but we're going to get you time back for that. Or you say, hey, I got everything else covered. I just want more time to go make some more money. Great, let's set that up and figure out how I can take what your time is being spent on, reallocate it, get you some more hours in your week, and then let you be more effective.
Oh, hold on.
So,
Pause right there. I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to ask this question. So, can these VAs also be tasked to do personal tasks?
yep.
Okay, so hey, I'm taking a trip to Disney World. Go find this, 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 and this for my family.
So this is where we get into the what we train our team on to do is pretty laid out on there, but there's a lot of what else could we do to help you? And so I have some owners where they're strictly using a team member. They've got a business and they have two team members. One of them is more business focused. The other focuses part-time on business slash part-time on them as just executive assistant. Check my emails, handle my own calendar, help get my kids' schedule from the school emails, put them on my schedule, like
Got
manage
it.
this, help me
Okay.
manage life.
So the short answer is yes, personal, no
Yep.
problem. Not just yes, but yes, comma, no problem.
Yep.
Okay. And at the same rates, I would assume.
Correct. Yeah. It's
Okay.
just
Great.
what's that task that is it's all about your time in a day of like, hey, this is something that is below what I should be doing. You need to identify that as the owner that, yeah, it's probably not worth your time spending on it. Have them help you with it.
Okay. Great. Keep going now. I did cut you
Yeah.
off. Keep going.
It's okay. So if you say, hey, I'm one of those two people, then set up a meeting with us. You can go to our website, smasupport.us. You can reach me. Facebook is great too. Send me a message, but set up a discovery call. We can talk for 30 minutes, give you a rundown of maybe how it might apply to your business or some things that, even if you're not ready for us, what you should be doing today through these steps that could give you some, some improvement. We'll set that up. And then let's say you say, hey, things look good. This is going to help. I want to do this. Then we go through that tree of those people. So you start a kickoff call with Paul, the US based customer success manager, pull out more of these strategy ideas. Then we go to our ops managers where they're going to work with you to essentially do a screen record, hop on a Google Meet, a Zoom, and we talk through usually your CRM, like talk us through your stages of where the job cards travel. Let us understand what can happen or should happen at each of these. And then we're going to start building our instructions. We find a team member based on what you need done. We start pre-training them, and then roughly a month from when you started that process, they go live and we launch, basically they're live and billing and executing these tasks after a week or two of kind of pre-work checking that they're up to speed
Yeah.
on the process.
Okay. I just realized that I did tee it up, but I never came back and swung the club. Talk about the language situation.
Yeah. So this is the number one common question I get is, what do they sound like on the phone? And so we're looking for team members that have had experience on the phone, that their language comprehension is strong, and that when they are communicating, they can communicate in a, conversational manner. And so part of our screening process is identifying people that they're going to be good on the phone. They can handle, inbound calls, outbound calls, and understand our brand and represent it. And so that's part of our screening process when we go through it. That being said, a lot of our team members have a little bit of an accent, but it's something where most people don't really have an issue with an accent. They just have an issue with lack of knowledge. And that's usually what their past experience was with, call centers overseas. And so this is where it gets into we train and understand your business and teach them about your business so that they don't have that lack of information, allowing your customers to feel like, okay, perfect, this is my person. And that team member, when they know the information, they can answer 80 to 90% of the questions that come in, on the phones, and get back to your customers much faster than you would have gotten if you're standing on a roof measuring it or doing a sales presentation. And so even if there's a slight trade-off to, I've heard it before, it's like, oh man, people down here aren't going to be able to handle, somebody on the phone. And the next thing you know, it's like they have a little accent and that's the favorite employee of that business. And we have somebody that's in Nebraska that their SMA team member has gotten Best Employee of the Month award for the past 3 months because of what they've done. And all they do is phone work. And it's like, hey, if it's working in Nebraska, we can make it work wherever. And so this is one where we're aware of this, but the language stuff doesn't really matter when you have somebody who knows what they're talking about. Just like if you got a sub crew that your roofing foreman he's Mexican, he's got a little bit of an accent. If he knows what he's talking about and he can talk to the homeowners, that's great. Like the
Yeah.
accent isn't the issue. And so
Okay.
if people want to see what our team members sound like, we've done a couple posts recently on Facebook to show like, hey, here's Diane. Meet Diane. She's one of the VAs that works for a commercial roofer.
Now, have you
Here's
cherry picked the very best English speakers for this, or is this pretty typical?
No, it's typical for it. But I will say is like we definitely have some people with stronger accents that are probably like accounting, finance side where they're not even customer facing, but they're master's level accountants. And so it's like, cool, this is fine.
Yeah.
We're like anything there is not a problem. So,
So for
but
customer facing people, can I assume there's some minimum threshold of
yep,
viability?
exactly. So
Okay.
that's if we're handling calls, it's like we grade our team members on language comprehension. It's basically here's where they need to be at the upper top limit of this one.
Okay. All right. So what was the website again?
SMA Support
SMA Support.us. If somebody wanted to reach out to you via email, what would be the best email?
Yeah, Chris.Diroll, CHRIS dot DIROLL at SMAsupport.us.
Okay. All right. I'm excited about this. I can't wait till this
And
podcast goes out and
anybody
more people hear it.
listening, if they go to contact us and they put in level 10, Rich, whatever, there's no like set codes, but just put your name or level 10 on it. We'll do an additional 750 off the implementation fee for the kickoff of it too. So just make sure you bring up that, hey, you heard about us from Rich and level 10, and we're happy to
All
help you out.
right. I like the way that sounds. So listener, you're getting your money's worth on this podcast. It's free, but you just got $750 value right there. So, hey, Chris, thanks so much for your time today. Look forward to talking to you in the future, following up with you, and hopefully doing some business with you myself.
Heck yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for our time to be here today. It's love the opportunity.
All right, we'll see you.
See ya.